6 foot 9 inches.
We're in a place they call the American Airlines Arena in downtown Miami, Florida. Right on the water, the home of the Heat, where we're broadcasting live today. Buckle yourselves in, everybody. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and here with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. The Heat trying to take advantage of their home court in this one before leaving Miami. Sixth game of the season for them, and when you're 4-1 already, you've got a good feeling about each game.
Well, you know, looking at Miami, they've continued their outstanding play. I mean, they're definitely one of those teams that everybody has in their sights again this year.
Well, you know, this is a team that doesn't have any glaring weaknesses. And they're strong across the board on that roster. And I think as long as they stay solid and they stay healthy, it wouldn't surprise me if they made a strong push into the playoffs.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Rubio and Martin manning the backcourt. Wiggins is out there with Garnett, and it's Pekovic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. The shot by Wade, no good. Dwayne Wade last season drawing motivation from Kevin Durant. Durant said that his former teammate James Harden had passed Wade as one of the top 10 players in the league.
Yeah, and Wade vowed to make Durant respect his place in history. Durant said, hey, don't tell me, show me. And some back and forth before the season even began between the two stars. Very interesting.
That's good.
Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
Looking at Minnesota, they took the win in their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
Tell you what, the way they shot the ball that game, Kevin, it looked like a shoot-around out there.
It sure did, and all the more impressive because they did it on the road. You're not supposed to be able to get that hot in an opponent's building.
Wade with the block. The Heat have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Steps back and shoots, and it's good.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Feeds it to Wiggins. The 3-ball. Another miss by Martin. For Miami, they've gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. Dang gets a wide-open look. That one a little long.
The shots aren't dropping yet. They've missed 4 of their first 5 shots.
And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's on Chris Bosh.
Well, probably the right play defensively. If you can't get the block, send them to the free throw line. Don't give them an easy 2.
No easy buckets inside. Force free throws and work to keep them out of the lane next time around.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws here for the night.
About a year ago, they converted about 78% of their free throws as a team, so pretty solid there.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
And both free throws good for Wiggins.
Miami Heat, a terrific organization from top down, and one thing you notice with these top teams, there's so much continuity. We talk about that. Consistent continuity, so important. From the coaches to the front office, they know who they are, what they're about, and how to put players in position to win the ultimate prize.
4-on-3 break. Wade with it, now defended by Wiggins. Here's Dragic from outside. That's good.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter.
And when you look at the Heat, it's a development team because of luxury taxes and the like. The Heat have to find players with upside and coach them up. We saw that last year with Greg Oden and Michael Beasley.
Now here's Wiggins. In the game against Orlando, very impressive. And it's the Heat on the break. Here's Dang. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. And it's all knotted up. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And even, Clark, with the departure of LeBron this past offseason, you saw many free agents still look to play for the Heat. They're definitely doing something right there.
Yeah, you know, they lost LeBron, who went home, but it wasn't an easy decision for LeBron. Bosh decided to stay, and they had several other free agents go out of their way to play in Miami.
And that one's good. Pekovic.
He can finish in the post. That's one thing we know about him.
Here's Dragic. He's coming off a 31-point game against Charlotte.
Yeah, guys, it seemed like he spent about half the game shooting free throws. I mean, credit him for his aggressive play.
Now here's Dragic to the inside. Here's Whiteside. Shot is off. Great D that time from Pekovic. The Timberwolves have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Here's Martin. Finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out. Martin's got 5.
Hasn't been able to get it going offensively. It's been a slow start for him.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And you know what was most impressive? They wasted very few possessions in that game. They ran their offense close to perfection.
That's what we call a mute button game in front of a hostile crowd. They never let the fans get into it. Had them on their hands the whole time.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Anderson is checked in for Whiteside. Josh McRoberts comes in for Chris Bosh. Mario Chalmers, he's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Napier in for Goran Dragic. Here is McRoberts. Clock at 4. The tray. And the basket by Napier.
Defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
1:12 left in the first.
Shabazz Napier, leading UConn to a national championship last season, showed he really can do it all. Shoot, pass, penetrate. He's an excellent defender. Maybe not the upside of some other picks, but you know what you're getting with Napier. A plug-in guard who can give you quality minutes right away.
And it's the Heat with the ball, following the three-pointer by Andrew Wiggins. Napier passes to Anderson. Here's Wade. Offensive rebound. Pass to McRoberts. Here's the 3. Can't hit. So Minnesota will take it the other way. This, of course, their first chance to play Miami this season.
And, of course, 2 teams in opposite conferences. They're only going to play twice, 1 on each team's floor.
Jang, no luck. The Heat trail by 4. Here's Wade. He's coming off a 28-point game against the Hornets in Charlotte.
And when you talk about his scoring, Kevin, I mean, with the defense trying to pressure him, I thought he did a really nice job of getting them to overcommit, and you know, that's how he got himself to the free throw line.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
And that does it for the first quarter. Timberwolves ahead, up by 4. And we'll be back with you right after this. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
And the difference to this point has been defense. This club has really gotten after it, and that's what's gotten them this lead.
Well, there's nothing that's gone up that hasn't been contested so far.
The Heat trail by 4. Well, the Wolves didn't have a hard time scoring against any team. They took it to another level, it seemed always against the East.
Well, every time they played out of conference, it seemed like an up-and-down wild affair, and they were pretty good in those kind of games.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for the Heat, Deng and McRoberts holding down the forward spots. Napier is out there with Chalmers, and it's Anderson in at the 5. Chris Bosh is checked in for Miami. Dragic comes in for Napier.
As you said, with the Wolves, 3rd in the league when it came to scoring against the East, but they were also near the bottom in points allowed.
The Wolves did fare well against the East, but if they were able to play just a little better at the defensive end of the floor, I think they could have had a pretty strong out-of-conference record.
Here's Deng. The baseline jumper goes down.
Easy little jump shot for him right there, guys.
And it's the Heat with the ball. They trail by 3. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. The Heat have shot just 1 free throw early. 1 for 1 in the game.
At the line for 1.
And the technical free throw is good.
Well, Mario Chalmers, coming into last season, made a bet with Ray Allen about how much each could slim down and get in peak shape. It seemed to pay dividends for Chalmers in particular, who had probably the best season of his NBA career.
Whiteside's checked in for the Heat. Minnesota also with the sub. Rubio's checked in. Clock is at 3. There's Dragic with the 3, and the shot is good. Dragic has got 6 points.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
The Timberwolves shooting here about 46% for the game.
And Chalmers really not the quickest point guard in the league, but he has active hands defensively and pretty good feet. Those takeaways help get the Heat out in the open court, which certainly plays to their strengths.
Dang with the screen for Dragic. To the paint, and it's stolen by Ricky Rubio. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Here's Dang. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Now the pass to Dang. With the teardrop, puts up the baby hook. Right side, no good. Timberwolves have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And Zhang kicks to Neal. He feeds it to Payne. Rubio left side. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And Chalmers, more of a role player for the Heat. Not a huge playmaker, Steve, but he can knock down open threes.
Yeah, he's an efficient scorer, and his passing has gotten better over the last couple of seasons. He's a perfect role player for Miami because he can guard opposing point guards extremely well and then slide off the ball when Wade has it.
2 on the clock. Bosh. No-place jumper from the free throw line. And the Heat lead by 3.
He is just so good from that range, guys.
You know, never mind with the height advantage he had there.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Pekovic is checked in. You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. Second, Ricky Rubio.
He showed such great defensive instincts last year. Just a terrific defensive player.
Timberwolves trail by 3. It's deflected. And Zhang kicks to Neal. Good on the triple. Neal's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
Timeout called, the Heat.
Gorgui Dieng, a Senegalese big man, of course won a national title at Louisville and was really the anchor of that team's championship defense.
Kevin Garnett is checked in for Minnesota. Dang against Martin. Dang attacking. The fadeaway. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
And Dieng, not just a shot blocker defensively, he also grabs steals and takes charges. Very smart defensive player who helps in a lot of ways.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. In the past, as you know, Chris Bosh tried to bulk up, but he's accepted his frame and his finesse game, saying, quote, "It's different now. The game is a lot faster. I don't bang anymore. It's not my strength, and I understand that." He's become more perimeter-oriented, and why not, Kevin? He said he realized that you do get one more point for threes. Gentlemen, over to you.
Perimeter shooting, big men. Very much in demand, Doris. Thanks. And it's Martin penetrating. And the shot is good. Martin's got his 3rd bucket of the night. And Zhang, the former MVP of the Basketball Without Borders camp in South Africa, came to the U.S. as a slender prospect and has added over 50 pounds of muscle since his days at Louisville.
That's exactly right, but he's retained his quickness and athleticism while adding that muscle. That's the big thing. Plays with a really good motor. I love to see the fruits of his labor paying off.
Pass to Neal. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And there's Martin. That's good on the assist by Neal. 9 points for Martin.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Outside Dragic. The kick out to Bosh. Lets it go from deep. And again, Miami with the triple.
Great opportunity right there. He's got such tremendous length. He can just rise up and get separation for the